You know, man, it's pretty good to be back. You know, like I got to be myself again. I'm finally behind the mic again. Hold up, bro. What's that sound, man? What's poppin', everybody? Bro, what are you doing? Back on the Bro, What Are You Doing channel because I am Bro, What Are You Doing? You were watching Bro, What Are You Doing content. I don't mean it like that. Don't take that out of context. I'm in a good mood today, so today we're going to take a look at some spicy, well thought out content by My Story Animated. The video we're watching today is What's It Really Like to Work as a Pizza Delivery Girl. Take a moment to look at that thumbnail. You know this is going to be a heck of a ride. Make sure to like, subscribe, put on your notifications so you know when I upload. And as you guys know, stay tuned for awesome content. Let's start the video.
Hi, my name is Tina, or at least that's what my adopted parents named me. And that's pretty much the only nice thing they've ever given me. When I was a baby, my parents adopted me from an orphanage in New York City. I don't remember anything from back then, but they told me the place was horrible. It was filthy! You better be grateful we rescued you from there. I never really believed her. How could it be any filthier than their own house? It was practically a pigsty. The carpet always had a horrible damp smell, and the floorboards and walls were all stained. They already had one child, my younger brother Steven, but he was super dumb. They knew I was smart, so they probably thought I was a good investment. You can do our son's homework since he's busy all the time. The little darling. Look, Mom, Dad, I can snort marbles out of my nose.
Dang, bro, really looks like this couple got a crackhead son. Also, this video seems to be going well. You know, we got Tina over here. She was adopted to become a slave to this family with a child. May I state, that child can snort marbles out his nose, man. But can we take a look back at that room, man? Like, that is the 30th thing I've ever seen. She might be speaking facts, bro. Like, we got beetles crawling all over there. We got, like, the stick and stuff. Like, Caustic came in and threw his gas.
Well done, Steven. We're so proud of you. Tina, those math exercises aren't going to work themselves out.
I rolled my eyes as I walked away. Did I have to get adopted by the dumbest family in New York? I ended up doing all of his homework all the time. But of course, he was never grateful. Instead, he chased me around with scissors and threatened to cut my hair.
Come on, Tina. I just want to give you a haircut.
I was smarter than all three of them put together, but they hated the thought. It would kill them to admit it. When I was 10, my dad owned a sports memorabilia store, and he was too cheap to hire a real accountant, so he made me work there as one.
It's the least you can do after all we've done for you.
Fine, but let me tell you, your dumb store is not making any money.
You're probably doing it wrong. Aren't you supposed to be smart and good at this stuff? Go over the books again.
Well, I wasn't surprised when he lost his shop 3 months later.
Bro, you're telling me when you were 10 years old, you worked as an accountant for your dad? Come on, bro. That has to be some cap. These stories are fake, bro. Even if you're telling me your dad trusted you as a 10-year-old to do his accounting for his shop that he managed, and when you told him that his stuff was going down, then he told you you're wrong, and he still didn't fire you? And to be honest, you could be making some real money, you know? You can be like a child prodigy on TV or something. You know, be on that show Gifted, man.
Meanwhile, at home, my mom would make me stay upstairs whenever she had company over, which was all the time. She liked to make her friends think she was really smart, even though she was an idiot.
Go to your room and don't you dare come down. God only knows what complicated and weird thing you'll end up talking about. They'll think I'm a freak like you. Don't embarrass me.
I decided to have some fun one day while her friends were over. I set up a trivia board game I knew my mom would lose, and I told her friends I'd play on their team. We won by 25 points. It was epic.
We didn't know Tina was so smart.
My mom was so embarrassed. She flipped the table over and told everyone to leave.
How dare you make me look stupid in front of my friends?
Maybe if you ever read a book, you'd know a thing or two.
Maybe if you weren't so ugly, you'd have friends other than books. I make myself laugh.
Good, because no one else thinks you're funny. And I skipped out of the room before her flying shoe could catch me.
Alright, so I guess we're meeting the character of the mom now. The mom is like that little kid in class that thinks they know everything, but they really don't. You could ask her how many chromosomes she has, and she would say more than you. To be honest, I don't see anything about pizza delivery here. You know, I came here for valuable information about being a pizza delivery man. You know, for my summer job, I'm gonna deliver pizza to Elon Musk. Who else? Who else are we delivering pizza to? Dwayne Johnson, all right, Dwayne the Rock Johnson, Kanye West, all right, and then Kanye East on the side, and then your mom. You know, maybe we got, maybe refer back to the thumb. No.
One day, while Mom and Dad were at work, Steven decided to spray paint the living room wall. What are you doing? Mom and Dad are gonna kill you! No, Tina. They're gonna kill you. He hid the can of spray paint in my room where I couldn't find it. When my parents got home, they freaked out.
Tina, what did you do? Clean this up right now.
It wasn't me, it was Steven. But they wouldn't listen to a word I said. Just then, Steven walked into the room holding empty cans of spray paint. Look what I found in Tina's room. That was it. I was doomed.
One more stunt like this and we're taking you right back to that orphanage.
At least it looks better than it did before. This house is disgusting anyway. I spent the next 5 hours scrubbing paint off the wall. Even after that, I couldn't get it all off. I missed dinner, and my parents made me go to bed hungry. It wasn't much of a loss, really. My family just had gross canned junk for dinner anyway. They didn't have enough money to buy good food, apparently, but they could somehow afford a gigantic flat-screen TV for their filthy living room. My dad loved that TV and sat in front of it all day after work, watching baseball.
I think someone needs to call Child Protective Services on this family, man. They really eating canned food for dinner, man. Like, what is that? You pull out the ravioli just to eat for dinner? You know, I'd rather stay in the adoption center for another month than rather have a family that wouldn't feed me a nice, big, juicy sausage for dinner. You know, don't take that out of context, but for real, man.
I stopped next to a bulletin board and noticed a help wanted sign. Angelo's Pizza was hiring delivery drivers. I was only 14 and I couldn't drive, but Angelo didn't need to know that. I lied in my application saying I was 17 years old and had a driver's license. He hired me and placed an Angelo's Pizza hat on my head. Guess it was time to teach myself how to drive.
Alright, so you're telling me you submitted a resume with 17 on it when you're 14? How would your employer not know that you don't look like a 17-year-old when you look 14, man? To be honest, kids these days do look older than they look. You know, I had people in my class looking like 16-year-olds, but who cares? Also, how are you gonna say you're 17, but you don't know how to drive? Like, come on, you gotta teach yourself how to drive first and then be like, hey, I'm 17, not 14.
Driving wasn't easy. I knocked over so many trash cans and street cones at first. I didn't have anyone to teach me, and watching YouTube videos only helped so much. I couldn't tell my parents because they'd want the car for themselves. They only had one car, and Mom was only allowed to use it if she asked Dad's permission. Once I taught myself the basics, it was time to start delivering pizzas. It was actually pretty fun. I got to play my music and smell fresh pizza all day long. I told my parents I'd be studying at a friend's house after school. They didn't care where I was, as long as it was out of their faces.
Do we have to feed you? Can't you just have lunch and dinner there?
Sure, Mom. Her parents' dinner are even worse than yours, but I'll eat there. Nothing made me happier than missing meals at home and eating pizza instead. Angelo was always good about feeding his employees. I delivered pizza all over the city. Sometimes I'd even deliver to those mean girls from school. They'd laugh at me in my uniform. Little did they know, I had stolen a few bites of their pizzas, especially the ones with extra pepperoni. Sometimes I'd spit on them too. I saved up enough money and planned on buying myself a car. I was going to start my own delivery service. I hid the money under a loose floorboard in my room. I couldn't let my parents find it, or they'd probably spend it on another big TV. Then, disaster struck. I arrived at a house, got out of my car, and walked up to the door. I rang the bell and my dad answered the door.
Tina, what are you doing here?
He was at a friend's house watching the game, and they had ordered pizza. I should have recognized the address, but I was just so busy that I hadn't noticed.
Since when do you have a job? You better not be hiding money from us. You know we need it.
That night, my parents ripped my room to pieces. They knocked over every piece of furniture and tore open every drawer.
I found it!
Steven pulled my box of money out from under the floorboard. Stop! Put that back!
How dare you hide this from us, Tina? We adopted you from that horrible orphanage, and this is the thanks we get?
That was the last straw. I stormed out of the room and grabbed Steven's baseball bat, the one they bought with my money. I walked right up to the big TV in the living room, wound up, and smashed it to pieces. How's that for thanks?
Alright, I think we have a lot to unpack here. First of all, I just want to say, you really 14, driving around delivering pizzas, eating out of pizza, spitting on pizza. Like, come on, you finna get caught in 4K, man. Like, come on, you gotta keep your job, make money, you know, have the good ending of the story, escape the bad parents. But no, you mess it up by spitting on pizzas and going on the grind. Even though the grind is awesome, you grinded too much, man, and you delivered pizza to your dad's house. On top of that, why would you hide your money in your room, man? You gotta, like, go outside of the house where it's safe, you know? They can do random searches like it's the police out here, man. A full-on SWAT FBI type beat. Also, you just made it worse for yourself. Like, you hit the TV with the bat and you broke it. They're going to use your money to buy a new one now. You don't think that dad is going to take a break from watching baseball? Nah, they fall asleep. They don't want you to change the channel. Of course, they're going to be addicted to the baseball game and buy another TV to watch it.
I dropped the bat and stormed out of the house. I went to the one place I knew I was safe, Angelo's Pizza. Angelo was closing up shop when I showed up in tears. I told him what had happened and how my parents stole all my money, and he felt really bad.
Here, I know you've been saving up for a car. It's yours.
And he just handed me the keys to my pizza delivery car. I gave him a big hug. Thank you, thank you, thank you! He invited me to stay with his family for the night. They had a small home, but it was really nice. His wife was an amazing cook, and their son was in school to become a hairstylist.
Tina, would you like a real haircut?
He worked some serious magic on my hair. I looked like a movie star, and I felt like one too. Angelo's family felt so bad for me that they offered to let me live with them. They became my second adopted family, my real family. Balancing work and school wasn't easy, but I managed. I learned as much as I could about starting a business and finally got my driver's license 2 years later. My parents didn't come to my high school graduation. They didn't even try to contact me after I smashed the TV. Instead of going to college, I started Tina Taxi, a full-service food delivery and rideshare company like Uber and DoorDash. Tina Taxi was different because I made each ride a party and worked a pure tip system. That meant my rides were free, and if people wanted to give me money, they could. My brother heard about my new job and called for a ride. He made me drive him all over the city pretending like he was lost.
Sorry, I meant to go somewhere else. So sorry. Can you go in that direction now, please?
He finally got out and didn't give me any money. Instead, he poked a hole in my tire and took a bus home. I lost a whole day of business because of him. While driving one day, I saw a bunch of signs all over town that were making fun of me. One in particular read, "Tina Taxi is a scam." I knew it was my idiot brother because he couldn't even spell taxi right. Take those signs down. You'll ruin everything. Buy me a new baseball bat and TV, and maybe I'll take them down. Why don't I give you a job and you can buy your own?
Work for you? Why would anybody ever want to work for you?
I tore the signs down myself and left them on my parents' lawn.
Alright, so you telling me like 2 years later this brother is still messing with you. And also, I just gotta say, how did you get to keep the car when you didn't even have a driver's license? Like, did you not have to show that in the pizza interview? Matter of fact, run that back, man. You said you were 17 and you didn't have a driver's license. Like, come on, they could have cut. How did they not catch you in 4K, man? Like, what did you do? You must have like paid them off or something. Like, here's a little $100 bill, man. Also, did they not know the whole time you were staying with them that you were in like what, middle school? You were 14? Like, come on. Although the story is unbelievably fake, I think it's pretty nice. Nice creativity. My story animated. Y'all make some good stories. I'm just gonna say, I'm gonna end off the video right there because I don't feel like recording anymore. I'm about to go drink some sink water. I hope y'all have a wonderful day. Make sure to like, subscribe, put on notifications on. It's been Bro, What Are You Doing? Hi, off Apple Juice. Peace out.